the next hour, you're going to be seeing the Hustler Rip Rogers in action. You'll see Dr. Tom Pritchard and a Southeastern Tag Team Championship, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden going up against the Bullet and Steve Armstrong. That and much, much more is upcoming during this hour of Continental Championship Wrestling. Now, let me make a couple of points very clear. First of all, for the first time ever next week here on Continental Championship Wrestling, we will be having a Singapore suicide match. A Singapore suicide match, the first time ever seen within the continental limits of the United States. And I might also point out, because of the tremendous adversity that we've had here at the podium, I might just point out that Continental Championship Wrestling through the NWA has come down with a ruling. The next person to throw a punch on this set will be suspended from wrestling here on Continental Championship Wrestling. So that will be a fact. The next person throwing a punch will be suspended from wrestling here on Continental Championship Wrestling. We're going to be seeing the New Guinea Headhunters in action, the exotic Adrian Street, and much, much more. An exciting hour upcoming. And right now, let's go to Freddie Miller and our first match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this tag team event, one fall with a 15-minute time limit at a combined weight of 470 pounds. Now in the ring, here are Dwayne Phillips and his partner Leroy Martin. Phillips and Martin. Their opponents now entering the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the New Guinea Headhunters. The Headhunters.
The New Guinea Headhunters have made their way to the ring now, going up against Roy Martin and Dwayne Phillips. And they have wasted no time in attacking this duo. And there you see Kevin Sullivan outside the ring, adding some additional punishment. These Headhunters are about as vicious a team as I've ever seen in action. Came into the ring with flaming torches. And Sullivan outside the ring, obviously laughing in his own diabolical way. One fall, 10-minute time limit. And the Headhunters looking extremely strong right now. You can hear that chop all the way across Bodwell Auditorium. The referee officiating as well as he can, but these Headhunters have kept things very much under their own control. Brother, you talk about a vicious pair. And Sullivan outside, convulsed in hilarity. Snapmare that takes Martin back into the ring. Irish whip off the ropes. Caught him with a chop coming off the ropes. And so the team of Phillips and Martin are having a lot of problems with the Headhunters. No, certainly no question about that. They have him up again over the top rope. Down into the chest once again. Once again, they put the boots to him. And of course, when the New Guinea Headhunters put the boots to you, it's with bare feet. But their feet are like rough leather. Again, they continue to dominate the situation. Martin and Phillips both outside the ring. The Headhunters in total and complete control of this match. Double headbutt puts their man down, and so the Headhunters have everything under complete and total control. Tag is made once again. Up over the top rope and down to that head as a battering ram into the side of the rib cage, and it is all over. Phillips and Martin, absolutely no match whatsoever for the New Guinea Headhunters. Kevin Sullivan in there now, allegedly trying to restore order, but keeping the referee, and the Headhunters continue to wreak havoc on the team of Martin and Phillips. Well, they have certainly decimated that combination. There's no question about that. And so Kevin Sullivan making his way toward the podium at this time.
No. You have to... Let me tell you something, Gordon Soley.
Yes.
You see, I just got a telegram this week that said, congratulations to the new Continental Champion. And it was signed the Tennessee Stud. Thank you for getting rid of Brad Armstrong. You don't see Brad Armstrong here anymore. The Stud's telegram also said to me, thank you for ripping the Bullet's mask off. You see, the Stud has spent a lot of time with the Habuda Dean. And in his infinite wisdom, he came up with the Tennessee Stud studied this with the seafood. And he came up with the Singapore suicide match. And it's real easy to explain. That means my men against Muller and Golden, and also on the card, any combination, so it looks like it will be now Stevie and the Bullet. And the only way this match ends is you have to send one man to the hospital on each team. So that means you're guaranteed an ambulance ride. You know, I couldn't even have thought up a match that good, but I understand why. You see, when the Stud went to Asia, and he went with the seafood, and he rolled the bones, it changed him completely. He understood now the difference between
Well, it looks like the Stud is coming out here right now to congratulate you for your efforts and all of it.
Wait just a minute. I want to get things straight here. I've been out of the country, traveled halfway around the world. I don't know nothing about you, Kevin Sullivan. I don't know nothing about these two goons you brought from New Guinea. I ain't got nothing to do with you, nor these goons. And I want to tell you furthermore, I hear you've been running your mouth about me. You've been in my home at night, making interviews, making yourself at home in my place, and I don't like it. Not only that, I don't like the way you knocked the South. I don't like the way you knocked me. I don't like the way you knocked my brother and my cousin, and Tom Pritchard are the only guys that stand behind me anymore. And you little punk, I want to know what's going on here. I want to know what's going on here.
I'm trying to find out myself.
I know what's going on. See, when he went to Asia and then he came back to this country, either the CIA or someone's got a hold of you is trying to warp your mind. Now listen, Ronald, I got everything under control, exactly like you said.
You ain't got nothing under control with me, son. You better keep your face out of my face, yeah?
Wait a minute.
If you want to, I'll put my fist in your face, too, boy.
No, remember the ruling. I don't want to
What ruling? I don't know nothing about no...
Hey, come on, big boy. If you're so big, I'm right here. Come on, punch me, brother. Come on. You think you're so tough?
Yeah, I'm tough enough. I'm tough enough to punch your lights out.
Hey, wait a minute.
Tough enough
Fuller is being absolutely decimated here.
Watch out, Jeff, no! Find me out, big boy!
Hold up here, hold up. Hold on a minute. Ron Fuller has been completely... We'll be back. We'll be back. No, I know. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment, please. Let's get some order restored. We'll be right back.
Presents the 86th Tennessee Super Bowl of Wrestling Southeastern Tag Team titles. Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden clash with the Bullet and Steve Armstrong. The Continental title, Brad Armstrong against Mystic Kevin Sullivan. Mixed tag, Adrian Street and Linda against Rip Rogers and Brenda. Special tag, the New Guinea Headhunters in action. The Alabama title, Wildcat Cooley against Dirty White Boy. Roy Lee against Tom Pritchard, Knoxville.
Well, I've had a quick consultation with the promoters of Continental Championship Wrestling, and even though Ron Fuller protests innocence of not knowing about the new regulation, he is now suspended from wrestling on Continental Championship Wrestling because he threw the first punch indeed here at the desk. I tried to get Kevin Sullivan out here to do an interview. He refused to come out, but apparently I understand we are going to have a live interview from Kevin Sullivan and the New Guinea Headhunters in the dressing room. So at this time, let's go to the dressing room.
You see, thank you very much, Gordon Soley. He fell for the trap. Let me explain what I have done here to everybody. Have you ever seen a volcano explode and the townspeople are down in the town and the lava is running down the mountainside and all the town people are gathering around saying, how are we going to stop the lava? How are we going to stop the lava? Well, you see, the town people happen to be the Armstrongs. I've done everything I said I would do. I unmasked the Bullet. I got rid of Brad Armstrong. And then, the most devious plan of all, I told you myself, Ron Fuller, to be a king, you have to kill a king. Long live the new king.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, now in the ring, here is Zane Smith. Zane Smith. His opponent, now coming, Hustler, Rip Rogers. Rip Rogers. Accompanied by his valet, Miss Brenda Britton. Brenda Britton. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Hustler, Rip Rogers. Rip Rogers.
Do not use that word.
One fall, 15.
Hustler Rip Rogers now having his outer garments removed by Miss Brenda Britton, who is on her knees unzipping the sides of the outer garments of the Hustler. He is indeed a controversial figure, and by the way, and I have been requested by both Hustler Rip Rogers and Miss Brenda Britton, please do not, and I repeat, please do not refer to them when they come into the arenas, if you happen to see them in person, do not refer to them as flea bags. It really upsets them. And, gee, that's I mean, that's really very bad, and please don't do that, if you get my drift. All right, Rip Rogers getting set to move now. Moving out against Zane Smith. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Rogers, who was a bodybuilding champion, an all-around athlete, hails from the Midwest, has held the bodybuilding championships in Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. Exceptionally dangerous man, has held many titles in his pro wrestling career, and is wasting no time in really punishing Zane Smith. Smith hurdled from the ring, and the referee, and a very fine one I might add, warning Rogers. Smith trying to get back into that ring now, and Rogers helping him along. Rogers, who always wears pink and lavender, brings him up, full body slam. Lateral press, but does not allow the pinfall. Well, I'll tell you what, I really have to feel somewhat sympathetic to the Tennessee stud, Ron Fuller. I didn't think I'd find the day that I would make that statement, but I really do, because I just have a suspicion that he was not aware of the ruling laid down by Continental Championship Wrestling, and he did put up with an awful lot from Kevin Sullivan before he finally blew his stack. However, I can also understand Continental's viewpoint that a violation is a violation, and of course the old axiom goes, ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. Chop into the chest of Smith. Smith trying to roll away, and Rogers caught him anyway. Rogers still dominating the situation with Zane Smith. Caught him with an elbow. Double thrust into the abdominal wall, and a chop into the neck. Rogers keeping up a steady offensive. Again. And now Smith fires to the midsection. Smith fires to the midsection again. And Smith reverses that Irish whip. Went up for a drop kick, but Rogers was one step ahead. Rogers turns him into a full Boston. Oh, brother. Look at the way he is stretching those abdominal muscles. He's got him. He has got him. Rogers using a full Boston Crab. And he certainly emerges the victor in this match. Well, wait a minute now. Rogers still not finished with Smith. More punishment as he dumps him over the top rope. There's Brenda Britton out there arguing with the referee about something. For the official word, let's turn it over to our ring announcer.
In the time of 4 minutes and 10 seconds, there's your winner, Hustler Rip Rogers. Rip Rogers, the winner.
Couldn't help but notice, standing just off the set, was the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda. The exotic Adrian Street, of course, the Southeastern heavyweight champion. And obviously you were scouting Mr. Rogers rather carefully.
Exactly. I thought that he used that Boston Crab with to great effect. But the art of wrestling is the art of positioning. And I don't think that Mr. Rogers, or Fleabag 2, as I call him, would ever get me in that position. The reason I came out, Gordon, if you'd be so good, I'd like the people and myself, again, to review what actually happened here. I mean, this guy came in, he's looking for a title. All he had to do is ask. That's all. That's all he had to do is ask. He's got a wrong way about it. He slapped Miss Linda, and I feel really badly about it. As far as I'm concerned, this title's here for anybody.
Well, I might just point out, I think that's one of the reasons that Continental Championship Wrestling came with the ruling they did, that any more fisticuffs or slapping at the podium here was going to result in a suspension. Unfortunately, Ron Fuller is now suspended from wrestling here on Continental Championship Wrestling. But let's in fact, go back in time and take a look at the episode that happened last week here on Continental Championship Wrestling, and you'll see what we're talking about regarding the Hustler Rip Rogers.
Nothing. That belt belongs to me. I'm the real Southeastern heavyweight champion. You're a girl, because I'm a man, baby.
Hey, whereby? You come 3,000 miles. I'll tell you something, brother. You come 3,000 miles for nothing.
We'll be back. We'll be back. We've got to get order restored. We'll be right back. Well, I think that point was rather abundantly clear, and may I just say that, like you said, if the man wants a title shot, all he has to do is come ask for it.
That was obviously the actions of a very frustrated person, Gordon. As far as I'm concerned, this is not the place to win championship matches. That's the place to win championship matches. And I just can't wait to get my hands on that flea bag.
Thank you so very much. And you too, Miss Linda. May I just say in closing, by the way, that I might just point out that Wildcat Wendell Cooley and the exotic Adrian Street just spent a very interesting afternoon at the Birmingham Children's Hospital on the 4th floor, hematology and oncology department, and they wanted me to extend their very personal greetings to all of the patients that they were able to visit while they were there. And we'll be back with more action right after we pause. To talk about wrestling in Barberville, Kentucky, and that'll be on Thursday the 16th, Knoxville on the 17th, and Whitley City, Kentucky on Saturday the 18th. That'll be at the McCreary Central High School Gymnasium. Now, in Knoxville at the Civic Center on Friday night, October 17th, there will be a mixed tag team match. The exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda going up against the Hustler Rip Rogers and Brenda Britton. Before I talk to Street and Miss Linda, let's hear what the Hustler has to say.
The 1986 Super Bowl of Wrestling, Knoxville, the Civic Coliseum, Friday the 17th of October. 6 sensational matches, including a mixed tag Rip Rogers. How about the Hustler? What about it?
First time ever, baby. Write it down. First time ever in Knoxville, Super Bowl of Wrestling, and you're going to have the Hustler Rip Rogers with the #1 valet in all professional wrestling, Miss Brenda Britton. That's right, she's going to be wrestling in Knoxville. And Adrian Street, I'm going to show everybody in Knoxville who's bad, baby. And Miss Brenda, she's going to show Miss Linda who's bad, baby. So you get in my way, I'll slap you. Miss Linda gets in Miss Brenda's ways, she'll slap hers because, baby, she's a black belt in karate, and she's bad, and she's going to show everybody in Knoxville.
All right, you heard them. 6 big, exciting matches. The Super Bowl of Wrestling, Friday the 17th. Be there, Gordon.
Well, he's confident.
Yeah, he's confident, but talk is cheap, Gordon, just as cheap as that shot he gave Miss Linda right here on the set. But we're ready for him this time. Miss Linda and I have had plenty of experience as far as mixed tag teams are concerned, mixed tag matches. And the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda against the Fleabag sisters. You just guess who's going to be victorious.
Well, we're going to find out, that's for sure. And that'll be at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum Friday night, October 17th. Continental Championship Wrestling presents the 86th Super Bowl of Wrestling. It's going to be a fantastic night. We invite all of you to make your plans to be there. I want to take a moment right now to talk to the doctor, if you will, Dr. Tom Pritchard, because the situation between this man and the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion Roy Lee Welch is, well, taking on some interesting dimensions.
Gordon, I just want to say a couple of things. Last week, Roy Lee Welch, the Imperial Margarine King of Wrestling, came out here and viewed a film showing me going into my tights and possibly putting something on my boot and giving him the greatest super kick in professional wrestling today. Now, I think, being that we're in the free country we are, I want the same airtime to review the same film and give you my comments, exactly the truth as to what happened.
All right, let's take a look. Let's go back. Let's go back to that match. All right, let's take a look here. He catches you with a right hand. You're up against the ring ropes. Now watch carefully.
Certainly a reversal. The guy, also he ducked a punch, and he caught me with a forearm. No problem there. But if you notice when he went for the cover, a beautiful kick out on my part, wouldn't you say? Now watch right here, because I never come into a match unprepared for anything. But if you're watching the man right there sneaking into his tights, he's got something around his fist. My feet are just a little bit better and a little bit quicker and a little bit tougher, as you can see, because it's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 3 count, it looks like to me.
Well,
what can you say?
all I can say is it looks to me like 2 wrongs a right cannot make.
It doesn't matter. The guy's been coming around crying about this, crying about that, wearing some silly-looking crown and some silly-looking robe, claiming that he's a United States Junior Heavyweight Champion. Roy Lee Welch, you're no more a man than a mouse, and you don't belong being the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion. I have been out of the picture for a long time fighting for any kind of belt, but right now it do me nothing but give me pleasure than to beat you for that title. And Gordon, I think I'm the man that can do it.
Well, thank you so very much. The doctor, Tom Pritchard, and he...
Don't eat so much margarine, Roy, because the crowd's looking really ridiculous.
A little bit strong. If that doesn't get Roy Lee out of the woodwork, nothing will. Well, we've got a match upcoming in the ring right now. The Alabama Heavyweight Championship on the line. Let's turn it over to Freddie Miller.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is for the Alabama Heavyweight Championship under the banner of Continental Championship Wrestling. And now entering the ring, the former Alabama Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Perfect, at 240 pounds. Here's Jerry Stubbs. Jerry Stubbs. And his opponent will be the new Alabama Heavyweight Champion, Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
If heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I just as soon stay home. I was one of the chosen few to be born in Alabama. I'm just like my daddy's son. I'm proud of who I am.
One fall, 30-minute time limit for TV. This is for the belt. Wendell Cooley defending against Jerry Stubbs. Gordon?
Jerry Stubbs getting set to go up against Wildcat Wendell Cooley, the Alabama Heavyweight Championship on the line. I've asked the Dirty White Boy to join me because I know that he views this particular title with a great deal of interest, and this promises to be an exciting match indeed.
That's right, Gordon. First of all, Daddy, I just want to say it's a pleasure to be out here with you, one of the greatest announcers in professional wrestling today, and I wouldn't have missed this match, Jack, for nothing in the world. And I tell you right now, my money is on Wildcat Cooley.
An interesting observation. So the Dirty White Boy is picking Wildcat Wendell Cooley in this match. A bit early to tell. There's the bell. Jerry Stubbs, a seasoned veteran, moving out against the very explosive Wildcat Wendell Cooley. Cooley in the yellow trunks, the lime green trunks actually, and of course Jerry Stubbs in the pink trunks. Both men finally locking up collar and elbow. A quick wing over takedown by Stubbs. Cooley back to his feet very quickly. All those lime green, they're really not. They're almost a lime gold. In case you got color sets, I guess I'm getting a little colorblind.
Well, that happens sometimes, Gordon. You know, everybody gets a little colorblind on occasion.
Well, I'll tell you what, the color here is green for the $sign because...
What I tell you, Gordon, I told you my money was on. Did you see that? That's one of my arm drags, ain't it?
It is indeed. Beautiful wing over.
I don't know much about all that wrestling stuff, but I sure can put a soup bone upside somebody's head.
I'll tell you one thing, the Dirty White Boy is being a little bit modest here because I've watched him compete many, many times, and he's as tough a competitor as you'll ever find in the ring. Beautiful drop toe hold by Stubbs. He went up to the upper body, feinted, and then dropped down to the drop toe hold as Cooley to the canvas. Got his head a little bit too far back. Cooley able to take advantage of that situation. And so now Stubbs has got himself in a problem. Let's see if Stubbs is going to be able to break away from it. Cooley keeping the pressure on him. Stubbs has the pressure on the leg. Now is forced to break it as Cooley has the extra advantage.
I'm telling you, look, oh, what can you say, man? That was a fantastic move by Wildcat right there. I'm just telling you. Look there. Hung right on to it.
All right, an outside cradle, but Cooley again able to break away from it. And so Stubbs now caught on a rear chin lock by Cooley. Stubbs now looking for some extra leverage. And Cooley very quickly warning the referee to watch Stubbs. And Stubbs taking advantage of it that time. Pressed that advantage, drove a knee.
It just shows you how quick that boy is. Hey, you can have him down. I know, Gordon, and you know. You can have the man down and go for something, and before you know it, he's not there anymore. That's right.
And so, Stubbs outside the ring now. Cooley inside, waiting calmly. Cooley, I think, psychologically seems to be dominating at this point in time.
That's right. You can't take nothing away from old Slick Jerry, you know. Everybody calls him Chrome Dome, but, you know, he's still a fine professional wrestler. But right now, it just ain't paying off.
Well, at the moment now, getting a head scissors or partial head scissors. And notice that Cooley is tied up the one leg, which reduces Stubbs' effectiveness. And now moves against him once again. And so Cooley now down across those femoris muscles, but look at the way Stubbs fires back.
That's just like old Jerry. Stubbs got to take shortcuts and everything. Look, and there's no reason for that, Gordon, to throw the man out of the ring. It says at the top of the marquee, professional wrestling, and wrestling is taking place in the ring, not on the floor, but in the ring. Am I correct?
Well, you have an excellent point. However, unfortunately, too many of the men involved in this sport seem to forget about that. And many of these times, these matches turn into Pier 6 brawls. But right now, Wildcat Wendell Cooley in trouble as Jerry Stubbs, the champion, now moving very effectively, a full body slam. Roy George, the referee. And Cooley now favoring the lumbar area of that back.
I'll tell you something, Gordon, that right there, a big body slam will take a lot out of a man. There's no doubt about that. Woo, son.
Stubbs really caught him coming off the ropes, and now a lateral press. Cooley powers out before the count, however.
Boy ain't giving up, Gordon. He's not giving up. That's the thing about it. In professional wrestling, you cannot give up. You understand?
Well, I certainly do indeed, and it is Stubbs now pressing the advantage on Cooley. All right, Cooley in trouble. First, like the Dirty White Boy just said, Wildcat Wendell Cooley is not the kind of a person who would give up, but he was just caught with a hard right hand, side of the jaw, driven back to the canvas. Stubbs drives a knee into the lower chin and upper throat of Wildcat Wendell Cooley. And things do not look very good for Mr. Cooley.
Don't look good at all, but like I said before, he's not a quitter, and he keeps on plugging. So, you know, my money's still on Kitty Cat Cooley.
A lot of confidence here.
Well, you know, he's a fine, upstanding young man, you know. I've rode up and down the road with him here recently, and he's a top-notch person himself, you know.
Open-handed slap on Wildcat Wendell Cooley. Another slap by Jerry Stubbs. And Cooley explodes.
That's it, Dick Kerma!
Cooley explodes. Stubbs can't believe it. Those two slaps across the face were all that Cooley needed.
Baby, go to town. Go to work on him.
What'd I tell you, Gordon? I told you the man didn't give up. That's the reason he's the Alabama champion.
Wildcat Wendell Cooley, very much in control of things.
Woo!
Catches him once again.
What's that kick on him, Jack?
Cooley caught that time by Stubbs, but Cooley gets the side headlock. Stubbs fires him off. Cooley ducks away. Cooley ducks under again. Up and over his man. Catches him a rolling reverse. He got the 3 count.
Yeah! Oh, son. Stubbs just caught him in the back, Jack.
Cooley down and in a lot of trouble. That count was over. That count was over. And so, all I can say there. Now, wait a minute.
Whoa, Daddy Gordon, did you see that, son? Woo, Jack, that was so good. I'm going to go down and congratulate that boy for that. Woo!
All right, Tony Anthony going down there to congratulate Wildcat Wendell Cooley. And Cooley has the Alabama Heavyweight Championship belt. There goes the dirty white boy, Tony Anthony, in the ring, congratulating him. Holding his hand up. Oh, my! The dirty white boy Pearl Harbored him and has taken the belt. He has taken the belt. Well, he didn't win that belt. Well, I don't understand that at all. Wildcat Wendell Cooley, caught from behind by Tony Anthony, the dirty white boy. Jerry Stubbs being attended to outside the ring. And let's turn it over to our ring announcer for the official word. Well, maybe not. Let's see. He is attending to Wildcat Wendell Cooley. And so Cooley has the Alabama Heavyweight Championship, and right now Tony Anthony has the belt, and we'll be right back. Let me take a moment to talk to the dirty white boy, because, my friend, that belt is not yours.
What does it look like? The new Alabama champion, Jack. Cooley, you dumber than a cold bucket, boy. You're just like everybody else out here. If you want this belt, Jack, all I got to say is come and get it, baby, because right here it is, and I'm the man you got to get for it. Well, you don't have to leave my belt, because I'm coming to get it right.
Okay, he's coming up there. Here comes Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
I'll tell you what, Gordon Soley, being the gentleman that I am, I'm not going to stand out here. I'm going to give the belt back.
Aha. He's going to give the belt back, okay. All right.
Keep your hands off of it. I want to tell you one thing. You got the title shot, baby, but it's going to be a lot more than just this title at stake, because I'm going to kick your butt all over this place.
You're a pretty big talker, Cooley. Let me tell you something, Pritchard. You come out here, you long-haired hippie puke. You come out here, say that I'm not the champion, that I don't deserve to have the belt. Well, mister, I have the belt. I've always had the belt. I'm the true champion, and you step in that ring with me, son, you're going to find out why I'm the champion and why they call me the king of wrestling. All of the people, all of them know that I'm the king of wrestling.
You feel that totally confident, do you?
Gordon, you see me in action. You've seen Pritchard in action. He's a good competitor. He's young. He's stupid. He makes a lot of mistakes. I'm refined, the gentleman that I am, the champion that I am, the king of wrestling that I am. Anytime, Pritchard, don't come out here and make comments to me, son. I'm the champion. Come and get it. I do my talking in the ring, not at the desk.
Here come the tag team champions, the Southeastern Tag Team Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be a Southeastern Tag Team Championship match. Those are the champions, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. Let's meet their opponents. Here they come. Against Fuller and Golden, this is for the belt.
And this battle got underway before they could even bother to ring the bell. There's the bell finally being rung now. Gorgeous Jimmy Golden and luscious Robert Fuller defending the Southeastern Tag Team title against the Bullet and Steve Armstrong. And the Bullet in there now with fists flying. So is Steve Armstrong, and so Fuller and Golden, who got off to an early start, are suddenly finding out that the tide of battle can turn in a hurry. And it's still a four-way melee going on. Golden in trouble, and so is Fuller. Steve Armstrong and the Bullet. Armstrong hurtled over that top rope. And it's the Bullet getting the sleeper hold. The Bullet has a sleeper hold. Wait a minute. Got problems outside the ring. Tom Pritchard and Kevin Sullivan arguing. Meantime, the Bullet... Wait a minute. The New Guinea Headhunters just charged the scene. And they have put Tom Pritchard to the boards. And now, wait a minute. What is Kevin Sullivan doing? The Bullet just got the pinfall. The Bullet just got the pinfall. We've got new Southeastern Tag Team champions. But Kevin Sullivan is outside the ring, beating away at gorgeous Jimmy Golden and luscious Robert Fuller. And Sullivan now going into the ring along with the Headhunters. He catches the Armstrong and the Bullet. And he is totally indiscriminate as to who he attacks. He'll take on anybody, that's obvious. The New Guinea Headhunters, a double headbutt on Steve Armstrong. And we've got just total chaos and bedlam going on in the ring now. Both referees out there. Hold on a second. The Tennessee Stud with the ugly stick with him. The Tennessee Stud chasing Kevin Sullivan out of the ring area. The Tennessee Stud after Kevin Sullivan. And they disappear. There's Kevin Sullivan, and there's a Tennessee Stud right behind him. And they're battling it right out the front door. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment.
You could be a winner.
Tonight, October 17th, Continental Wrestling presents the 86th Tennessee Super Bowl of Wrestling Southeastern Tag Team titles. Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden clash with the Bullet and Steve Armstrong. The Continental title, Brad Armstrong against Mystic Kevin Sullivan. Mixed tag, Adrian Street and Linda against Rip Rogers and Brenda. Special tag, the New Guinea Headhunters in action. The Alabama title, Wildcat Cooley against Dirty White Boy. Roy Lee against Tom Pritchard, Knoxville.
Well, I want to take a moment now to talk to the former champions. Because
former champions! That's a backstab like I've never seen it in all my time in the business! That these goons that come out with Sullivan, they're going to get their match they want! They're going to get their three-way down match! And if we don't care if Armstrong and Bullet that goes down, the two monkeys that go down, they are going down! We're going to put them all down, but I'm going to tell you something. You talking about getting down and dirty and nasty and cutting some throats, boys. You look at them guys that can do it right now.
I'll tell you what, let's turn it over to the ring right now.
Thank you, Gordon. I'm with the Bullet and Steve Armstrong. And boy, how about this action? What happened?
Well, brother, I don't know who we're supposed to be fighting, but I know one thing. We are now the champions, so I hope everybody's got that through their thick skull.
Now, I don't care if it's Fuller and Golden. I don't care if it's the New Guinea Headhunters. We're going to show you some Southern Broad, jaw-jacking, head-stomping. Bring it on. We don't care what kind of match it is. Make it a Singapore suicide. I'll show you how to sling some ass, brother. Make it a battle royal. Any kind you want to make it. Bring yourself on, all 4 of you.
All right, back to you, Gordon.
Dr. Tom, get the tape box, baby. Get it full, because there's going to be some blood flowing, son. It's going to be coming out of your mouth.
Well, we're going to find out, but there are no champions. Well, certainly a most interesting hour here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Next week, by the way, we are going to have a 3-team Singapore suicide match, the first time ever seen in this country. And, well, I see the Tennessee stud coming this way, Ron Fuller. And, now, Ron, now, hold up. I'm terribly sorry about what happened to you tonight, but you are suspended, sir.
I realize that, Gordon. It's not nothing to do with you, and it ain't your fault. But I tell you this, Kevin Sullivan, I hope you're listening, and your headhunters or whatever you call them, this is a good old Tennessee ugly stick. And they don't call this an ugly stick because the stick is ugly. They call it ugly because when I finish with your body, you gonna be ugly, boy. And to tell you furthermore, I know I'm suspended. I know the ruling is that I can't wrestle here on television. But that don't mean, Gordon Soley, you will not see me again.
Oh-ho. Well, I do believe that man meant every word he just said. And all I can say is, Mr. Sullivan and the New Guinea Headhunters, you're going to be wearing some funny-looking bruises and welts on your body if the Tennessee stud gets his hands on you again. As I said, now, next week we will have a 3-team Singapore suicide match. First time ever in the history of professional wrestling on television. At least 2 people are going to go to the hospital, I can assure you of that. Also, you're going to be seeing Wildcat Wendell Cooley against the Dirty White Boy. You'll see Tommy Pritchard against Roy Lee Welch, and a host of other great matches, all of them upcoming here on Continental Championship Wrestling, brought to you and sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance, the oldest and largest sanctioning body of professional wrestling the world over. May I just take a moment while we have time to thank our crew, the people behind the scenes that you never get a chance to see. Talking about all of our cameramen and all of our technicians, my director Steve and Bill and Paula and everybody else for the outstanding job that they do behind the scenes. Without them, this program would not be possible. And getting back to the Tennessee stud one more time, 6'9", 281 pounds. And when he gets his hands on Kevin Sullivan, who stands about, I'm going to say about 5'8", 240 pounds, there's going to be a monumental collision. As the man said, the Tennessee ugly stick. The stick ain't ugly, he ain't ugly, but when he gets through hitting you with that stick, you're going to be ugly. And he's referring to one person and one person alone, and that happens to be Kevin Sullivan and the New Guinea Headhunters. Until next week, then, this will be Gordon Soley saying so long from the heart of Dixie.